Okay. Hello, YouTube. I I'm working on another video about you know changing your views on what success is as a disabled person, and just in general, I think people need to learn about that stuff. But I wanted to do a short stream about some of the recent events that have been happening in America, and I mean, I think people are pretty aware of what happened at the Capitol and how just shameful that was and awful for our history. My daughter, 6 years old, she's going to be learning about it as a historical event when she's a teenager in high school, or probably when she's in college when it starts entering textbooks and stuff. Like it's absolutely absurd that it happened here. And I wanted to talk about it in terms of the people that is my microphone even working? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody can type if they can hear me or not. I'm gonna be so upset if my microphone doesn't work because I set it up correctly this time. Okay, I see it. There we go. Okay. Anyways, our capital was overrun by people who claim that our election was unfair, and that's not a true claim. And they know it's not a true claim. They want to say that there was some kind of fraud. They know that this isn't true. Here's the thing about the people that did this that a lot of people don't want to admit to. Like, they want to say they're victims of propaganda. They are. They want to say that they've been radicalized. They have. And they want to say that these things make them believe things that aren't true. Here's where there's a bit of a divide, where I disagree to some point. These people are largely, you see that they lack education in certain civic matters on how the country operates and yada yada, the specifics. But broadly, they do have an understanding, and they know, most of them know, that our election was fair and legit and that Trump lost. But they don't care about that. They don't care. They want to force a world that adheres to what they think they want. And that's where the propaganda comes in. They've been led to believe that this world they're fighting for is what they want. It isn't. I mean, like, if they got what they wanted, they would find themselves very like, this isn't any better. In fact, it's worse, not just for the minorities I hate, but for me as well. And why? But by then, it's too late. It's too late. They don't understand that they're being pushed to fight for corporate interests who just want all of the everything. That it isn't really about them. They don't understand that the people that are telling them that they hate the minorities and other groups and whatever that they hate also hate them, but that they're just using them. And I always see a lot of things about people like, how do we reach these people? How do we talk to them? How do we get them to see that the lies they believe? They know they're lies. The only part that they don't know is that these entities that they're fighting for aren't on their side either. That's the only part. Everything else they know. They know that's a lie. They understand that the election was legitimate. They understand Donald Trump lies his ass off. They understand about all this stuff. They know. When they start bitching about free speech because something that, Parler or whatever got banned, and free speech. They don't bitch about free speech when it happens to a group they don't like. So they already know they're lying. And I think people need to know this when they encounter these discussions with these people online about, how it goes. You're not trying to convince them. They're not going to be convinced. They already know. They're full of it. Whatever you're going to say to them has been said to them by other people. They just ignore it, move on to the next person. They're trying to spread their message. They're not really trying to have a discussion. It's called bad faith. They're arguing in bad faith. They know. And I feel for people because, I've watched my girlfriend get into arguments with some of these people online, people that she knows, and it's painful. You see people arguing. I've had to do it with your friends, with your family, people that you thought were your friends, and they start spouting this stuff, and they don't believe this stuff. They feel it, maybe, but the points they're trying to argue, they don't believe them. They're just trying to play with words to get you upset or to make it look like they won the argument. They don't actually believe this stuff. When they argue about free speech, they've been told time and time again that free speech is just the government can't arrest you for your speech. It has nothing to do with private entities. They know this. They've been told this. These are the people that stormed the Capitol. And we need to stop saying that, we need to reach out to them. They need to reach out to us. It's always been, we need to reach them. We need to understand them. We need to hear them. You never hear them say the other way. Never goes the other way. Never. Ever. It's always their way. That's part of the propaganda. Make you sympathize with them. Make you hear them. Spread their view. Never yours. Never. You're the bad guy. You're the enemy. And that's going to lead me into this term I found for it. The scientific term I didn't know about before. It's called collective narcissism. I want you to listen to this and see if it sounds familiar. An emotional investment in an unrealistic belief about the in-group's greatness, aiming to explain how feelings about an in-group shape a tendency to aggress against out-groups. The results of 5 studies indicate that collective, but not individual narcissism predicts intergroup aggressiveness. That's like you hate the other groups. Collective narcissism is related to high private and low public collective self-esteem and low implicit group self-esteem or low implicit group esteem. It predicts perceived threats from outgroups, unwillingness to forgive outgroups, preference for military aggression over and above social dominance orientation, right-wing authoritarianism, and blind patriotism. The relationship between collective narcissism and aggressiveness is mediated by perceived threat from outgroups and perceived insult to the in-group. In sum, the results indicate that collective narcissism is a form of high but ambivalent group esteem related to sensitivity to threats to the in-group's image and retaliatory aggression. That sound like anybody you know? Sound like any group you've been having to hear about for 4 fucking years? Sound like, I don't know, the alt-right in its entirety? Once they get into that group, the types of people that think this way, they're not going to listen to anybody else except people in that group. They are automatically going to label you an enemy, a liar, somebody to hate, somebody that they want dead. They have these fantasies about how military aggression would work out, and they always seem to leave out the part where the blood that will run in the streets will have ours and theirs and everyone else's, that it will just make everything worse and horrifying. Instead, they see Red Dawn in their head, the movie. They see themselves as a hero. They see their group as ultimately right and correct. They don't want to have discussion. They want people like me dead. I know you might look at me and, oh, look at you, white, blue-eyed motherfucker. They don't want you dead. They do want me dead. I'm disabled. I'm very visibly disabled. I'm not part of their groups. That's the other part they ignore. That if they manage to succeed and get what they want and they kill everybody they think is their enemy, they think it ends there, that they live in some kind of right-wing utopia where they're always happy. But what happens instead is something else becomes the enemy. Eventually, they become the enemy. They aren't as special as they think they are. None of us are. We're all the same human on this planet. We have to learn to live together. This divisive stuff that gets put forth, all it does is create blood in the streets, blood spilled for nothing. What did they think would happen after they stormed the Capitol? What did they think would happen? Even if they did what they wanted, all that would have happened was civil war. One may think they would win handily, but they wouldn't. It would just tear this country apart, tear families apart, friends apart, kill so many innocents. I'm so disappointed by my country's recent history. I did think that we were better than this, that we wouldn't stoop this low, but we did. Luckily, it was a group of incompetents that couldn't seem to get anything done correctly. So we can be glad for that. They blew their chance. You can see the behaviors on key figures in the alt-right, how they're backing down and they're disavowing. Only a few are holding tight to this idea, like the grand violent uprising, blah, blah, blah. Everybody else is like, oh, no, I didn't know that it would end up like that. Please don't investigate me. Please, please. You know, a lot of people on that side of things are seeing, finally, oh shit, we really were stroking the fires of violence on our side. Even Republicans are saying those people need to be arrested, taken to trial, locked away. So even though there are people on the right still planning violence, saying that they're going to be there for inauguration and all that, and that they're going to do something. By the way, it's not going to be like the 6th. There's going to be thousands of soldiers there from National Guard that isn't compromised. Their chance is gone. So we can be thankful for that. They're not going to get another moment like that. But when you run into these people online, remember, they're not arguing with you in good faith. They don't believe the words they're using. Pin them on that. Don't engage the arguments they bring up. Call them a liar. Refuse to engage their arguments until they reveal who they really are, which they won't, because who they really are, the ones who continually argue about that and still want the violent uprising, is a violent racist. They don't want to admit that because they'll lose followers. So continue to pin them, call them liars. If they say they believe in free speech, don't engage them about arguing about free speech. They've had that argument before. They don't care. They're lying. Call them liars. Continue to do so until they run. They always will. The way we stop these young kids getting radicalized before they know better is we chase these people away, deplatform them, and we never stop calling them what they are: liars, violent fascists, authoritarians. We need to stop giving them the benefit of the doubt, because when we give them the benefit of the doubt, we get January 6th. Anyways, I don't know. I wanted to say something. Sometimes I feel very powerless because I'm disabled. I can't, protesting isn't exactly something that's easy for me. I don't always feel like I have a voice, and I just wanted to say something. A voice, part of the larger growing voice that's like, no more. And so this is my attempt at that. I don't know if it's successful or not, but I at least said my piece. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm sorry that this happened. I know I wasn't out there. I'm not alt-right or anything like that. And yet, all the same, I am sorry as an American that this happened. I hope after this failed coup attempt, because that's what it was, things can move forward in a better direction for all of us. And the people that can be deprogrammed begin to be. As I said in the beginning of this little live stream, I will be releasing a video soon about ideas about success. how disabled people and just people in general need to kind of reorient what they think success is, and how that can help improve your mental health outlook on life and everything like that. Expect to see that in the next week or two. Hopefully the inauguration goes off without a hitch. I think it will, maybe not without a hitch, but it's not going to be like what happened. That's done. That window has closed for that kind of shit to happen. But I'm sure people are going to raise some kind of trouble somewhere. But probably after inauguration, expect to see a video from me soon on about non-political things about life, disabled and otherwise. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.